This is a snippet from my full options video library available at basicwisdom.net. There's also a link in the description. Let's go. A long call is the right to purchase the underlying security at the strike price. For example, let's say that we have long one ABC Jan 200 call at 6. This is an options contract that initially is going to cost $600 during the opening purchase. Once that opening purchase has occurred, the investor has the right to purchase 100 ABC shares at $200 a share from that point all the way up to expiration. Let's remind ourselves that when we're on the long side of the contract, the investor wants to gain as much intrinsic value as possible. And if we're using call up, put down, call up in particular, this options contract will gain intrinsic value when the market price goes above 200. And that should make sense. If the market price goes above 200, then the investor has the ability of buying this ABC stock at a price that's cheaper than what the market is offering. Investors with long options always want their contracts to gain intrinsic value because otherwise, if the options contract doesn't gain intrinsic value, for example, if the market price in this example stays below $200, there would be no reason for the investor to exercise the options contract. If the market price of ABC stock was still below $200 at the expiration date, it would just expire worthless. And in that case, the investor spent a total $600 on an options premium and they ended up not using the options contract. That's kind of like flushing $600 down the drain. Here's some common long call questions you can encounter on the actual test. Market sentiment is a focus on whether or not the investor is bullish or bearish. Remember that bullish means they want the market price to go up. Bearish means they want the market price to go down. Market sentiment could also be neutral, meaning that we're expecting the market price to stay flat. You could also have a volatile market sentiment, which is a way of saying, I don't care where the market goes. It just needs to go really high or really low. Just needs to go somewhere. Maximum gain, maximum loss, and break-even questions are pretty typical for this exam. Additionally, you could encounter questions involving scenarios. These types of questions are usually set in relation to the expiration date. For example, let's say that we're looking at the first number there, $198. A test question could sound something like, an investor goes long an ABC Jan 200 call at 6. Several months later, the market price goes to $198 and stays there through the expiration date. What is the gain or loss to the investor? With these scenario-based questions, the key thing is knowing whether or not the option is going to get exercised. That relates directly back to intrinsic value. Remember, only options with intrinsic value get exercised. And then figuring out the gain or loss from there. If the option doesn't get exercised, what's the gain or loss that we're looking at? If the option does get exercised, what's the gain or loss that we're looking at? That's how you'll want to approach those bottom three questions. If you already have some skills answering options questions or want to attempt these on your own, here's what you'll want to do. Pause the video and see how many of these questions you can try to answer. When you're ready for me to go through the answers and the explanations for each, hit the play button and we will go through them together. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that right now. All right, hopefully you've had some time to go through these questions. Let's go through each answer and discuss why the answer is the answer. First thing, let's look at the market sentiment. Market sentiment typically is bullish or bearish. As we said before, it could also be neutral or volatile. If an investor goes long a call in their account, and that's all they do, they just do this single leg option strategy, they definitely have a bullish market sentiment. The higher that ABC's market price goes, the bigger the profit they make. Remember that they always have the right to buy this stock at $200 a share, at least until the expiration date. And the higher that market price of that stock goes, the more profit potential they unlock. If we want to go crazy with it, let's say that the market price of ABC stock goes up to $10,000 a share. The investor would definitely exercise their options contract. And if we wanted to double check that, we could use call up, put down. Call up, is the market price above 200? Yeah, it is. The option contract has intrinsic value. They could exercise their right, buy the stock for 200. And if they wanted to make an immediate profit, they could sell that stock in the market for $10,000 a share. That would be a $980,000 total profit. Of course, seeing a stock price rise from $200 to $10,000 will be pretty unique and pretty rare, although possible. This is a good segue to maximum gain. The higher the market price goes, the more money the investor makes. Because again, they can always buy stock at 200, at least until expiration. And the higher that stock price gets, the more they can sell that stock in the market for whatever the market price is. There is no ceiling for stock prices. Stock prices can go as high as demand warrants it. So with that being said, the maximum gain potential here is unlimited. This is the options T-chart. T-charts are pretty typical when teaching options. So you can see different versions of these. Sometimes they look and feel differently depending on who's teaching. But the way that I teach these is I have a plus and minus column. If the investor is receiving a cash flow, we would put that in the plus column. If an investor is paying money or if cash flow is leaving them, then we'll put that in the minus column. Additionally, I also have an option and a stock row. The option row would be used to account for options premiums. For example, here, when the investor goes long this call at a premium of 6, we would put a 6 on the minus side in the option row. Initially, when the investor goes long this option, this is all the T-chart looks like. The investor paid a $6 per share premium. No stock is being transacted unless this option is exercised, which could occur. If stock is transacted, then we will account for it in the stock row. I use the T-chart on a per share basis. If you were wondering why I didn't put $600 there instead of 6, it's just a matter of preference. I like small, manageable numbers. When we start putting numbers in the hundreds, things get a little tricky and complicated, at least from my perspective, but you could put $600 there if you wanted to. What I do instead is I look at this on a per share basis. So we buy an option for a premium of 6. I put a 6 on the minus side in the option row. The only thing I need to remember is at the bottom, whenever I get to my net number at the end, I need to multiply that times whatever the multiple is. If it's just one contract, it would be multiplied times 100. If it's 8 contracts, then we would multiply it times 800. Hopefully you get the point. We will continue to look at T-charts for the rest of this video library. So if it doesn't feel 100% comfortable right now, just hang on. It will feel better the more experience you get with this T-chart. And by the way, you are not required to use a T-chart to get to the right answer. In fact, when we go through these questions, you will see me go through them from a conceptual standpoint outside of just looking at things through the lens of a T-chart. A T-chart is just helpful because it helps us keep the numbers straight. Going back to the original contract, if an investor goes long one ABC Jan 200 call at a premium of 6, the only thing that we would initially plug into the T-chart is that premium of 6. Whether or not there's stock that's transacted really depends on what happens with the options contract. Now, one thing you might be wondering is why we didn't use the T-chart when it came to maximum gain. You technically could. It just gets a little complicated when the answer is unlimited. I haven't figured out how to plug in unlimited into a T-chart yet, and I'm not sure if there's a way that you can do so. One thing that we could plug into the T-chart is that 200. If the options contract is exercised, the investor would be buying stock for 200. So we would put 200 on the minus side. That's money leaving them if they buy that stock, and we would put that in the stock row. Now, the big variable that we'd have to keep in mind is what could the investor sell the stock for? If ABC stock price went up to $250, they could sell it for $250. And let's think about what the gain or loss would be there. The investor paid a $6 premium per share up front. Assuming they exercise the contract, they'll be paying $200 per share for that stock. They could then take that stock to the market and sell it for $250 per share. We'd want to add up the numbers on both sides. We'll have a 250 on the plus side, a 206 on the minus side. That should leave us with a net of 44 on the plus side. Or another way of saying, in this circumstance, when the market price of ABC stock goes to $250, the investor would have a $44 per share gain. We'd want to multiply that times the appropriate multiple. If it's just one contract, just multiply it times 100. So in this case here, the investor would have a $4,400 profit. Of course, the higher the market price of ABC gets, the bigger the profit they make. And this is why plugging unlimited into a T-chart is almost impossible. The higher the number you put in there in terms of what we could sell the stock for, the bigger the profit. This is really the only limitation of the T-chart. If the answer is unlimited, then it's really tough to use the T-chart appropriately. Maybe in this case here, you can notice the higher the stock price gets, the more you could sell it for and the bigger profit you make. But the good news is, if you understand how these contracts work conceptually, you should be able to get to the answer with or without a T-chart. Thanks so much for sticking around until the end. If you want to see the full video course, learn about my tutoring and class offerings, or gain access to more resources, go to basicwisdom.net. There are also links in the description. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this, and I'll see you in the next video.